Hi students, welcome back to our online class, today's social class. And we are in the third chapter, hydrosphere. And in the last class we discussed different aspects of hydrosphere, namely the hydrological cycle. We discussed the hydrological cycle. What is hydrological cycle? The circulation of water is called a hydrological cycle. From the oceans to atmosphere, from atmosphere to land, from land to sea again. Like that, the water moves in a cyclic order. This is mentioned as water cycle or hydrological cycle. In this, evaporation, transportation, condensation, precipitation, runoff, these kinds of activities take place. Also, there is a process of sinking into groundwater, ground layer. That means recharging the groundwater level. That process also will take place during this time. So this is what we discussed last time. Also we discussed the sources of water on the earth. Today our topic is oceans. That means we are going to discuss oceans today. In the second chapter we studied order of landforms. So oceans come in which order landform? Yes. Oceans come in the first order landforms. Continents and oceans are in the first order landforms. What is an ocean? What is an ocean? The huge water bodies are called oceans. The huge means very large water bodies are called oceans. How many oceans are there? How many oceans are there? There are 5 oceans. There are 5 oceans. Which are the 5 oceans? The Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and the Antarctic Ocean. These are the 5 oceans on the earth, on the globe. Yes. Sometimes an ocean is called sea also. Sometimes people call sea. An ocean is called a sea also by some people. But actually, there is difference between a sea and an ocean. There is a difference between a sea and an ocean. What is a sea? A sea is a body of saline water. A sea is a body of saline water which is surrounded by lands. Partly surrounded by, partly or fully enclosed by lands. Enclosed means surrounded. So sea is a water body which is partly or fully enclosed by land, means all around the land will be there, or at least 3 sides land will be there. Such a water body is called a sea, but ocean is not like that. We have to understand oceans in a different meaning. Usually, in the beginning, you studied in the first lesson only, I think, in the beginning, That means millions of years ago, there was only one sea, one ocean. One ocean, one land. The land was called Pangaea, and the sea was called, the ocean was called Pandalasa. What was the ocean called? The ocean was called Pandalasa, and the land was called Pangaea. We studied later, this Pangaea was broken and was separated in the sea, in the ocean. The several continents were formed. Now we name the ocean by different names. But actually, all these seas are connected, all these oceans are connected. Then one name is enough, no? Then how is it named differently? To name a particular ocean, we take the continental division. So certain factors that help name the oceans are continents and also various archipelagos and some other criteria. Archipelago means large island groups. So here is a table. You can see the table. In the table, what is written? In the table, it is written how the oceans are named. Let us see the table once. So in the textbook, you can see the table like this. Look at this table. On the left side here, it is a name of oceans. And the other side, towards the right side, its the features are mentioned. Its features are mentioned. Let us see what are these features. First one, the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean separates Asia and Oceania. Separates what and what? Asia and Oceania. What is Oceania? Oceania means Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea together. New Zealand is a group of islands. Also Papua New Guinea are also group of islands, archipelagos. All together, these places all together called Oceania. So Asia and Oceania is separated by what? The Pacific Ocean. Also we know that it separates Asia and American continents also, between Asia and America. Second biggest ocean is Atlantic Ocean. Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. The order is given according to the size only. Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean. It separates what? It separates America from Europe and Africa. That means this ocean comes between America and Europe and Africa. And the third one is the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is the third largest ocean. And this ocean washes upon southern Asia and separates Africa and Australia. So Indian Ocean washes upon southern Asia and separates Africa and Australia. That is Indian Ocean. Next, the fourth one is the Antarctic Ocean, Southern Ocean. Fourth biggest ocean is Antarctic Ocean. It is also called Southern Ocean. Where is the Antarctic Ocean? Sometimes considered an extension of the Pacific, the Atlantic, and Indian Oceans, which encircles Antarctica. Actually, this is the water body that is surrounding Antarctica continent. Actually, this is the part of other oceans. Part of Indian Ocean, part of Atlantic Ocean, and part of Pacific Ocean. And the fifth one is the Arctic Ocean. Fifth largest ocean is Arctic Ocean. How can we identify Arctic Ocean? This is also sometimes considered a sea of the Atlantic, which covers much of the Arctic and washes upon North America and Eurasia. Actually, Arctic Ocean is the part of Atlantic Ocean only. The sea is connected to Atlantic Ocean, and the banks of this sea, the shore of this sea comes North America, and the Arctic region, Arctic landforms comes near to Arctic Ocean. So these are the important oceans, the 5 oceans on the earth. See, formal oceanographic investigation, that means research on seas, started with the British expedition of Challenger. The first successful worldwide deep sea expedition was Challenger. With that only, oceanic investigations in searches started. Now, let us see the relief of the ocean. Relief means the structure of the land under the sea. Ocean basin, we say ocean basin. Ocean basin is actually very similar to the land. Here we have mountains, plains, plateaus. Like that under the water also, in the sea also, in the ocean also, there are mountains, plains, plateaus, etc. Actually, the islands, the islands are the top part of the high mountains only, which stands out of the water. That means the water did not submerge it. Such high mountains in the sea is the top part is the island actually. Okay. So, the ocean bed or the ocean basin is divided into certain parts, around 4 parts you can see here. First one is continental shelf. Continental shelf. What is continental shelf? Continental shelf, from the seashore, if you go into the water up to a distance of 200 meters, up to a depth, up to a depth of 200 meters. That means water depth 200 meters. Up to that depth, the land is sloping. The land is sloping. From seashore, the land is sloping down up to 200 meter depth. This is called continental shelf. And continental shelf, it is said that around 7.6%. 7.6% of the ocean basin is made up of continental shelf only. And the largest continental shelf is the Siberian shelf. Siberian shelf is the largest continental shelf. It is around 1,500 kilometers in width. 1,500 kilometers in width, the Siberian shelf. So this is very important because fish, the sea fish, mostly found in this part only, because they get food in these areas. That's why they come to this area. So large amount of fish, large number of fish is found in this area. The importance of continental shelf is explained here as 3 points. The first point, fish wealth is more in this region. fish wealth. Second importance is rock, petroleum, natural gas are found here. Petroleum and natural gas found in the ocean bed, especially in the continental shelf. Next, building seaport is possible here. Building seaport is possible in the coastal, means this continental shelf region. So because of these three, continental shelves are very important. And the second one is continental slope. Continental slope means after the completion of this continental shelf, up to depth of 200 meters from the water level at the top, from there the land suddenly becomes very steep like this, very steep like that, means going into big depth. That kind of structure is called continental slope, like the side of a big mountain ridge, like that. The side will be very sloping. Continental slope, around 15% of ocean area is 15% of ocean area is continental slope only. So this is actually what? Continental slopes are the boundaries of continents actually. The boundaries of continents are in the sea only. These boundaries of continents are these continental slopes. That's the importance of continental slopes. In this region, canyons are there. On the land, canyons are there. Like that, in these regions also, canyons are there. Submarine canyons. Submarine canyons means canyons underwater, covered under water. These are observed in this region, and these canyons are formed by glaciers and rivers. Now the third type is deep sea plateau. Deep sea plateau, that means in the deep sea plain. Deep sea plain means in the depth of the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean, the land is very plain, flat. Such an area is called deep sea plain. This is also called abyssal plain. Abyssal plain. Here is a diagram. In this diagram you can see, look at the diagram and the names written there. It is very small in size, so you may be a little bit confused, but these are actually big things only. Picture only very small. Okay. It is said that the flattest and the smoothest regions in the world is this continental, this deep sea plain only. Around 76.2% of the ocean basin is made up of this deep sea plain. The depth from the top water level to down to this deep sea plain, the depth is around 3,000 meters to 6,000 meters. That means from the water level in the top, 3 kilometers down or 6 kilometers down, 6 kilometers depth, 6,000 meters depth will be there up to the sea plain. Okay. And the last one is oceanic deep or trenches. Look at the picture here. In the picture you can see oceanic trenches. You see there? A very narrow cut you can see. These kinds of cuttings are called trenches. Very narrow but very deep trenches. Such kinds of trenches are there in the sea. And actually these trenches from the water level, from the sea level, MSL, around 6,000 meters down, these trenches are there. Some trenches are very deep. Some trenches are very deep. Some trenches are not so deep, like that. It is said that most of the deepest trenches are in the not in the middle of the oceans. These kinds of trenches are near to the seashore, near to the seashore, near to the sides of the land only. These kinds of trenches are formed. That means very close to the continents, and because of this, they are very significant in our study. Okay, it helps us to understand and to study about the plate movements. It is said that around 57 deeps have been explored so far. 57 deeps have been discovered so far. And here are the names of some important trenches in the world. First one, the Challenger Trench. It is also called Mariana Trench. It is the deepest trench. Its depth is 11,022 meters from the sea level. Second one is Pivotorio or Naves Trench in the Atlantic Ocean. Its depth is 10,475 meters from the sea level. And third one in Indian Ocean, Java Trench. What is its depth? 7,450 meters. These are the important trenches of the world, trenches in the world, in the sea. So, this page, these two pages are very, very important. You have to read these pages again and again, again and again. Also, write answers to the questions I will send to you, because it will help you to clearly understand these pages and also help you to remember and help you to study also. So, don't sit without doing homework. When you do homework only, you will learn. Your real learning takes place when you do homework only. So, you must do homework and you send it to my personal WhatsApp number. Your homework you send to my personal WhatsApp, because in the group, your homework is mixed with the other homeworks and I am very much confused also. So, send to my personal WhatsApp. Okay? Thank you.